If you want to work here, in this restaurant, I need to ask you one simple question. How do you feel about frontal male nudity? What the heck? Pretty fucked up.
But, if you want to work here, in this restaurant, I really think that you need to ask yourself one simple question. How do you feel about frontal male nudity? What the heck? Pretty fucked up, huh?
Hi, I'm John Rolfe.
And I'm Brian Yevitz.
Welcome to Complainers Times.
And today we're going to talk about sexism.
And no, I'm not going to be talking about the sexism that women have oppressed and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about sexism towards males. And I know most of you are going to be like, it can be sexist if it's towards guys. Yeah,
Exactly.
always.
Sexism is a complete double standard, and it's horse shit, and that's why we're covering it today.
I feel that way, especially with the feminism party as a whole, that they want the same rights as males. No, they don't. They want the good things about being a guy.
Exactly.
They want the more pay, they want the higher social ladder bullshit. But when anything happens to them, they want
On
to
a social level, they're somehow above men. They want to be as equal as men, but somehow on a social level, outside the working place, they're completely on top, which is bullshit.
And also, if like something happens, like they're attacked or something, they can be like, "Oh, I was just to help this girl."
Yeah, exactly. Susan B. Anthony. If you're a woman and you don't know who Susan B. Anthony is, you should fucking kill yourself right now. She led this giant feminist movement to show men that women can be just as equal as men. She fought for those rights. That's why you have those rights today.
And that is a good thing.
And you're completely just taking a dump right on her grave anytime you take advantage of this double standard sexism bullshit.
You know, it's especially like, alright, so you're in an office, and a guy calls a girl sugar tits. Sexual harassment, fired from his job, 6-week sensitivity bullshit training.
Probation, just all this horse shit.
And a girl calls the guy like,
"Hey, big dick." Just calls him big dick out of nowhere.
I don't think anyone's ever said that out of nowhere.
Okay, well.
But you know what? They call like a guy, I don't even know. Brian, you're a master of like seducing guys. What would you say?
Fuck you. Anyway.
Well, that's just jumping to the point.
Shut up. Well, and like say that happens. Nobody looks at it that way. If the guy goes and tells his friends, "Hey, she just called me some offensive name. I don't feel too comfortable with that." Everyone's just gonna call him a faggot and tell him to leave.
And that's the thing, especially if it's like, no guy is gonna go to the cops and be like, "She called me names. She slapped my ass." The cops would probably just be like, "Get the fuck out of here. Are you retarded?"
And then there's like the whole abuse thing.
Yeah.
And that is retarded. I mean, let's say a man and a woman are...
Okay, we're not saying any abuse laws are retarded. Just throwing that out.
And we're not supporting abuse to women and or men. We're just saying...
We do not advocate domestic violence at all.
Okay.
Except Brian. You sick bastard.
True. Anyway, aside from that, Let's say that there's a man and a woman, they're like a couple, and they get in a heated argument about something. Let's say the woman pushes the man out of nowhere. She starts coming at the man, like slapping at him. He feels threatened, so he pushes her, or slaps her in the face. What happens? He goes to fucking court. He goes to jail. He gets probation, sensitivity training. It's retarded.
But you know what?
And especially since she started it.
But that's the double standard. That, it reminds me of, shit, what's the show called? It's like Nurse Jackie or something. My parents watch it, and I walk in and, like, the guy, like, pushes a girl because she was, like, scratching at him, and the guy doctor is just like, yo, you can't hit girls. And it's like, well, you're fucking retarded.
She was starting shit. And this ties to the whole Mel Gibson scandal thing that's going on now. Let's say everyone's calling Mel Gibson a monster. Oh, how could he hit a woman? How could he hit his girlfriend? Okay, let's look at it this way. Let's say Mel Gibson never hit his girlfriend. Let's say it was just a harassing phone call. Would he be called a monster? Nah, maybe not. Maybe so, because the whole burning down the house while you blow me comment. But other than that...
Seems like a very hard thing to do.
Also, and I mean...
I think at that point it'd be like getting blown.
Do I really want
If I had to set the house on fire, I'd have to move. That's just a pain in the ass.
And so, going back, like, would he be called a monster if he just made a harassing phone call? Probably not. But because he did the oh-so-terrible crime of hitting a woman, he's instantly the most hated man in America, obviously.
But we have to find that fine line between someone acting out in, like, a heat of an argument and actual abuse. Because saying abuse,
it seems like a span.
Yeah, like multiple hittings.
Like, I consider abuse like you're in a relationship with a guy and within like a 4-month period he beats you every other week. That's abuse. Abuse is not when you guys are having an argument and he slaps you out of nowhere. That is not abuse.
But you know, here's the thing.
That's just like the heat of the moment. No, it doesn't.
So we have to find, and I don't know how I'm gonna put this. Hold on.
We have to find a middle ground.
Yeah, exactly. And women can't say they want to have the same rights as men if they want to fall back on the weak feminine attributes.
You can't say, oh, I'm just as equal as a man, and the second a man raises his hand at you, you call the cops on him, okay? That is not how equal rights work, okay? And I hate it. When I remember I was in the car with my mom and my sister, and on the radio we were listening to the story about the Mel Gibson abuse thing. And my sister was like, that's not right. You don't hit women. False. Okay? I'm not saying that you should hit women, but there are times where it should be allowed. And I mean, that's such a bold statement. It's like, oh, you don't hit women at all. No. Okay? Stop acting like you're this perfect being that can't be touched, that can't be hit or hurt.
Also, holier than thou. But we have to find the line between hitting and abuse. Mel Gibson, that was a hit. Chris Brown, abuse.
Yeah, exactly. And this is really all the justice system's fault, really.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it isn't really a law. This isn't printed in a book or anything that a woman is above a man when it comes to hitting or abuse or anything. But it's like a social law. It's basically
it really is an unwritten law.
It's basically been implanted in our brains that, oh, it's wrong to hit women if you're a man. And that's the justice system's fault.
But again, it's not like you should hit women, but you know what, if they start something or like attack you,
don't hesitate. That's self-defense. And unless you're a fucking idiot, you'll understand that.
But you know what, it's like when a cop walks into a room and he sees a girl that was hit and a guy standing there. It's like walking in the safari and seeing lion standing over like a deer.
Deers don't live in the safari.
I don't care.
Those are
my.
Those are gazelles.
Whatever you do, son of a bitch. And it's really the, oh, I didn't do anything. I'm just a gazelle, just chilling here, and then this lion came and shit went crazy.
That's basically how we see it. That's how we see the situation.
Exactly, and it's bullshit. You know, it's the same thing with like the hate crimes.
Hate crimes are fucking stupid. Okay? Every crime, well, at least the majority or almost every crime stems from hate. You don't beat the shit out of a person unless you hate them.
I stabbed him 4 times in the chest with a screwdriver, but I did not hate him.
Like, if let's say a white guy was getting in a heated argument with another white guy outside or something, and then he just grabs a pipe and slaps him upside the head. That would just be an abuse thing or whatever, you know, whatever the hell you call that. But God forbid the other white guy was a black guy and he hit the black guy with a pipe. Then it's hate crime. Because obviously if a white man hits a black man, it can't be anything other than racially motivated.
Exactly. But you know what, again, it's that fine line. Because I saw a thing on the news, they were talking about hate crimes, and it was like, well, the guy, a white guy hit an immigrant that came from Mexico who was actually legal, which is crazy down in Texas. But so, before he hit him, he was saying like, wetback, beaner, spick. That, hate crime.
That is a hate crime. If it's just, let's say,
someone arguing over some stupid shit like a parking spot or something and someone gets hit, that's assault.
Basically, that doesn't have any underlying racial motivation. Just because the guy who blocked your parking space and ended up giving you a fender bender is black and you're white does not mean that it's a hate crime if you end up hitting him. That just means that the guy's a dick and you hit him because you were mad at him.
But it's America's need to blow everything out of proportion.
And again, it's the justice system's fault.
Exactly. But like when someone gets hit, it can't be like they just got hit. It's like there was some big conspiracy behind it.
Because that's what we look for. We need
Exactly.
Because we don't get enough entertainment from our celebrities or anything. We need to take our crimes and make them more entertaining. That's why we have CSI.
But that's like when a kid shoots up a school and they're like, what video games did he play? What music did he listen to? Did you ever stop to think maybe he's just like fucked up in the head?
You ever in school?
Exactly.
And think that maybe his rampage stemmed from that? Instead they're like, he had Grand Theft Auto. So obviously this is what caused him to shoot up the school. Even though there's not a single school in the game. There's not a single scene where you go through any building killing them.
You know what? I have played literally every GTA. Have not shot anybody yet.
Huh?
So...
And there's not even children in those games.
No, there really isn't.
I say that we rewrite, let's take a book and write down all the laws over again.
Exactly.
We would make a smarter justice system, and we're 2 fat 15-year-olds.
I'm gonna be 16 tomorrow, you fat fuck.
Fuck you.
Ha! I don't know what that noise was.
Me neither. I'm Brian Evans for Complainers Times, and I'm going to rewrite every law.
I'm John Rolfe, signing off. Why is it okay if girls slap guys? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Because they're defending themselves. Because his words were so dangerous.
Oh my god, his words came at me, I didn't know what to do. I was just like...